Hello, my name is Mark Walsh from Integration Training. This is a short video on emotional intelligence. So by the end of this video, you'll have a better idea of what the concept of emotional intelligence is all about and some practical tips and tools, things you can do to grow your own emotional intelligence. So I work a lot with emotional intelligence. In the last few months, I've worked with Virgin Atlantic, Sussex University, to financial services companies in Brighton, to the army in Sierra Leone. So all these very, very diverse groups of people can find emotional intelligence extremely useful. Studies show that at work, emotional intelligence is 3 times more likely than IQ, sort of intellectual intelligence, to predict career success. So if we assume that people are basically smart enough to do their jobs and that they have basic competency in the skills of their job, this is the stuff that makes a real difference. And the reason for that is we all work with people. So all job involves some kind of interaction with other people. Emotional intelligence is something that can be developed. I know this because I've developed it myself. Growing up as a British working class male, it's not something I was really taught. It's not something that was valued in my education. And then later on in life found out, oh, bit of a shock, hey, this stuff's really important. It's a big part of life and part of work, so I was able to develop it. Emotions can be thought of as a motivational system, so they move us towards or away from something that's important. Underneath emotions is needs, so met or unmet needs. Tends to be when we have an emotion we enjoy, that it's a met need. I feel happy because I had a nice meal, for example. Emotions we don't enjoy, like say sadness, maybe my need for friendship wasn't met. So the needs are the critical thing, and the emotions are kind of like red lights on the dashboard of a car saying that you haven't had enough oil, for example, or enough petrol in the car. So it's really important to know about the emotions so we can see what's important, what's happening. If we repress and deny the emotions, it's just like putting some black tape over those warning lights. It doesn't actually stop the fundamental problem. Emotional intelligence can be defined as the ability to be aware of and manage one's own and other people's emotions. So that definition comes from Daniel Goleman, who's a big name in this area. I recommend his books. And this creates 4 sets of competencies. So the first one is emotional awareness. How am I? Yeah. The second one is emotional self-management. So how do I regulate my emotions so I'm not like a toddler that has tantrums? The third area is social awareness. So really having empathy for other people. And the fourth area is impact and influence. So how do I inspire other people? So we'll start with emotional awareness. This is a really critical place to start, as the others are difficult without this. So the emotions happen in the body through physical sensations. So it's really about body awareness, and there's a separate video we've produced on that. If however you want a tip for now to build this, I'd say just set some kind of alarm, maybe on a BlackBerry or an iPhone, to chime several times a day. And when it chimes, check in, notice how you are in your body and what emotions are present. We'll build that capacity. The other thing you can do if you're in an organisation is with your team, have an agreement that you ask each other how you are and you actually answer that. That will build connection with the team as well as the skill of emotional awareness. What helps is having a vocabulary for emotions. So when I started this work, before I was trained in this, I was either okay or not okay, and that's quite limited. Gradually I realised there's a lot more ways of describing my state than that. If you'd like to see a full list of several hundred emotions, I recommend going to cnvc.org. Something called nonviolent communication has a lot to say about emotions. The next area is emotional management, emotional self-management. So emotional intelligence isn't about being kind of fluffy and just splurging emotions everywhere. Part of it is actually being able to get yourself together to manage your emotions. This can be done through humour, through cognitively, through our thinking, through distraction. For example, counting the 17 times table when you're starting to get emotionally distressed. Yeah. The method I really like is called centering. This is a very quick, effective way to get yourself together under pressure. And an easy way to do that is simply to take a deep breath down into your abdomen. So you still feel the emotions, but it will take the edge off them so you can operate and do what you need to do. We have a whole video on centering if you'd like more on that. The third area is awareness of other people's emotions. So this includes political awareness. The heart of it really is empathy. So how are other people doing? Empathy is the intention to connect in the present moment. So it's really being present to someone, really listening to them, finding out what's going on for them, not suggesting, trying to fix them, suggesting they do anything, even pitying them or anything like that, just being really present with someone. If you want to develop it, like all these things, the key is practice. So you could, for example, make a practice of listening for 5 minutes to your partner when they came in from work. Yeah? Or you could spend 5 minutes in the office every day just really asking people how they are. And really listening without interrupting. The last area is social management, or we can look at it in terms of impact and influence. So for leadership, this area is really critical for sales, for persuasion, in terms of how you come across. Now this area is really built on the last 3 areas. So if you work on those 3 areas, this one will naturally grow. You know? If you're aware of your own emotions, if you're centered and grounded, if you're listening to other people, that'll make a big difference on your leadership impact. We have a whole series of other videos around how leadership impact can be built through the body, so I recommend those. For now, I just say to you, if you want to work on this, simply notice your body and how that might be coming across. This is quite different from this. Just one small example. So that was a very short introduction to what's quite a big subject. If you'd like to learn more, or you'd like emotional intelligence training for your organisation, you can go to integrationtraining.co.uk or contact me through that website. Thank you very much.
Nobody ever asked me about my emotions. My emotions matter too, you know. I sit here, I get filmed every time, I don't even get paid. I'd like some empathy. Give me some empathy.